friends this fall is if they purchase the new Prime Energy drink.
I want a 4,000 Gucci sweater. I want a house, an iPhone 15. I want Mr. Beast in my basement. I want a lion. I want K-Sci and Logan Paul in my basement. I want this lady in my basement.
The invention of the Gutenberg printing press led to the Protestant Reformation. The ability to mass-produce copies of the Bible gave people a more direct relationship with God. With the advent of the social media influencer, people now have a more direct relationship with advertisers, forming parasocial relationships with the people that try to sell them products. There needs to be a clear demarcation between advertisement and entertainment. What happens when there is no differentiation? The advertisement is the content, and the content can only exist as an advertisement. All of the consumer protections created by the FCC to regulate broadcast television still only apply to broadcast television. Is this relationship still a concern to our government, or is it the desired outcome for the next generation to be conditioned as more active consumers? Mr. Beast's biggest video was his recreation of the contest from the Netflix original series, Squid Games, an anti-capitalist satire set in South Korea where financially desperate contestants compete in life-or-death games for a life-changing sum of money. It explores how the ruling elite debase and humiliate us for their own entertainment, forcing the working class to strip themselves of their humanity and abuse each other just to keep their heads above water. Mr. Beast saw this and went, "Whoa, why don't I do that?" Squid Games is not a warning for the future.
Pick your
it's a
hero.
critique of the present.
Or villain.
Which one you
I'm
want?
not judging.
You don't have to be a
This
witch
one?
to find the
Okay,
magic
his
in
coin.
this world.
I
But
have
it
one.
does help.
Here you go. Okay, good luck. You win? No? Okay, my coin?
Can I take it?
My coin?
Yes, can I take
Wait, my coin?
Everything the show parodied is what Mr. Beast had already been doing to a lesser extent. He just brought it right up to the line before executing people.
Magneto raised me to never stop fighting for what I believe is right.
Then I will do that. You're gonna get $300,000.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I was North Carolina. I said, excuse me. Like
My predecessors couldn't fuse their chi into weapons.
I just wanted to turn
just
the lights
like
off.
you.
My
And I'm
blade.
vocalizing to people. I turn off.
It's
And I go up
psionic
to my
energy.
friend, my good
The
friend.
full power of my
And
mind.
I go, they're
Hard
not
to
turning the lights
focus the
off.
full
He goes,
power
what?
of my mind on anything.
That's a war
while
crime.
you're swinging that thing.
We're not allowed to do that to
The
terrorists.
battle starts in 5,
24 hours breaking
4,
into Geneva Convention.
3, 2, 1.
You have power.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Resources the other one does, and the older one you and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it.
Perfection. I
I needed it, of course. This is the I got from
enemy has arrived.
from Jimmy when I was receiving cash. He said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
He was lauded for his YouTube recreation getting more views than the original source material. In our entertainment landscape that values views and dollars more than anything else, there's no other conclusion you can really come to.
And all I thought about was
Mission area is yours.
36.
People argued Mr. Beast's video was superior because the original took 12 years for the creator to get into production. Meanwhile, YouTubers recreated in a few months, stealing all the talents and aesthetics and stripping it of the art and social commentary. He parlayed the success of the Squid Games video into a full-length series of the same nature on Amazon Prime called Beast Games.
Are you all ready?
It's hard not to put yourself in the shoes of the contestants, knowing what's at stake.
My
There's a
work-
bizarre
Goodbye.
detachment to what the reality of money is for normal people. The show has a sanitized triviality regarding the stakes of what's happening. Someone will be seconds away from winning hundreds of thousands of dollars and fail to meet some arbitrary criteria, shattering their dreams. They could have been on the precipice of leaving a housing situation plagued with domestic violence, finally being able to leave the job they hate and starting their own companies, or a parent being able to spend time with their children for once. Then Mr. Beast pulls a
My
lever and
fate isn't
says,
sealed yet.
"Bummer."
Now, a disappearing act.
before a single mother's dropped through a trap door while he makes soy face into the camera. There were 2,000 contestants, so there wasn't a deep dive into anybody's individual story. You could just see glimpses of their life in between challenges. When deciding for eliminating their team members, somebody was trying to prove their integrity by saying, I'm an Army veteran, I'm living out of my car. There was a murmur in the group. Did he just say he was homeless? I don't want to trust a hobo. A woman tries to stick up for him. He's not homeless. He lives in his car by choice. I think Mr. B should be in charge of military recruiting. Enlistment is down with Gen Z. Less people are willing to join the meat grinder just for a Dodge Hellcat. But what if the signing bonus was a Dodge Hellcat or a We're already at the point where sitting in air-conditioned offices, flying explosive drones on people's homes with joysticks. For every day your platoon is able to occupy Aleppo, your child will receive an extra $1,000 towards their college fund. I was joking about this, and then I saw the Pentagon was actually in communications to collaborate with Mr. Beast on a project. Apparently it fell through, but there was a cute little cameo from the Navy SEALs in Episode 5 of Beast Games.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Involvement the Department of Defense will have on future content. I don't hate Mr. Beast. He does give more to charity than 99% of us ever will, and at the end of the day, is just a guy that makes YouTube videos. He just gives me this queasy feeling that we're living in a dystopia, that if you lose your leg, your best bet is accidentally running into a YouTuber that thinks it will go viral if they give you a prosthetic leg. He thinks as much himself. Hating Mr. Beast would be like hating a herd. It was inevitable. The social media algorithms and distribution of new media were the low-pressure zone required for him to form. If you told a supercomputer to be the most popular YouTuber of all time, they would be doing the same exact thing as Mr. Beast. He's reverse-engineered YouTube's code to give us exactly what engineers in Silicon Valley think will keep us watching. When decisions are made solely on market research, algorithm optimization, and return on investment, the content becomes a procedural checking of boxes better suited for an AI than an artist. If Amazon or Netflix create an artificial intelligence to dictate programming, what will be lost from our culture? At this point, would we even notice? How did we get here? The year is 1990. Looming threat of nuclear war with Russia, mullets and baggy pants. Joe Biden running for re-election and Mike Tyson lost his first fight. The Simpsons premiered on Fox. The year is 2024. Mullets and baggy pants. Looming threat of nuclear war with Russia. Mike Tyson lost his last fight, and Joe Biden lost his last re-election. The Simpsons finished its 34th season. 34 years of cultural stagnation. The grips of nostalgia have destroyed the infrastructure of our institutions, and the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight is the final nail in the coffin of meritocracy. Their fight was a metaphor for the entertainment landscape at large. Mike Tyson represented Hollywood, the behemoth and cultural icon of the past. Regardless of his ability, based on his reputation that he can sell tickets.
Capture the mission area!
With us, absolutely nothing. My legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something I have not heard before, so thank you so much for giving me that kind of idea as well.
Under my spell! Behind you!
Jake Paul, the influencer, the self-made man that circumvented the traditional path to success.
I won't make the same mistakes again.
Maximum pulse!
Nobody told him he was the world's greatest boxer. He said it for us. A master in marketing and navigating the algorithm to get his face on the screen. Fueled equal parts by love and hate. Leaning into his role as a heel, people tuning in and buying pay-per-views just to see him get knocked out. But that doesn't matter. You don't have to be liked or respected to make it rich in America. You just have to be seen. William the rest of the death of the artist, the birth of the creative entrepreneur.
No more gatekeepers, goes the slogan of the Internet Apostles. Everyone's opinion is expressed in Amazon reviews and such like carries equal weight. The democratization of taste. Judgment rested with the patron in the age of the artisan. In the age of the genius, it largely rested with the artists themselves. In the age of the professional, it rested with the critic. And now we come to the age of the customer. The force is always right. Or as a certain legendary entertainer is supposed to have put it, there's a sucker born every minute. Another word for gatekeepers is experts. Lord knows they have their problems, beginning with arrogance. But there's one thing you can say for them. They're not so quite easily fooled.
The breakdown in trust of the institutions after repeated failure has opened up avenues for con men to come in and fill in the gaps. Are they up for the task?
At the highest level of performance, you need a deeper understanding of the craft to appreciate the nuance that separates somebody from the top 10% from the top 0.1%. The best boxer in the world isn't focused on marketing, he's focused on boxing. There needs to be an infrastructure of support around them to package what it is they excel at to an audience. There's currently a legitimate heavyweight champion of the world, and nobody knows his name compared to Jake Paul. Somebody that's passably competent with an eye for promotion end up overshadowing once-in-a-generation talents.
Comedy clubs experience a similar problem with social media personalities touring the circuit despite never having done stand-up. Even the most respected comedy clubs are still a business and can't say no to a guaranteed sellout. Roughly 8 weekends out of their 52-week calendar will be booked by people with little to no live performance background. One time I opened for Ed Bassmaster, whose claim to fame was walking up to people on the street and asking them a question and then going... That's about it. I was hosting the show. I was booked to warm up the crowd, and then he was going to do costume changes, and while he's off stage getting dressed, I would go on stage and fill more time. I met him in the green room, and he was like, "Hey, my name's Jarrett. How long do you want me to do in between costume changes?" He's like 2 to 3 minutes top. And make sure to get my character names correct. Don't mess it up. It's Gerard Douche, Mumbles, Skippy, and Chip Diamond. Make sure you nail it.
We'll be coming in 30 seconds.
And I'm like,
stay strong.
Yeah, all right, dude. So I go on stage, I do my host set, and then I introduce the first character, Mumbles, which is just a rip-off of Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. He says hi, and then the crowd goes nuts. But he didn't have any material planned, so in character, he just starts talking about his real-life accomplishments. He's like, "Man, I'm so happy to be here. We got big things in the works. We just sold a project to Netflix. We're gonna be on Netflix, guys." And
you have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Then he's like, "Okay, bring the host back up on stage." I go on stage and do my 3 minutes, and then I see from the sound booth they're telling me to stretch because he's not ready yet. So I just keep going, and I do 10 minutes. He comes back on stage for his next character, which is just a rip-off of Andrew Dice Clay. He's flicking his cigarette at the crowd. He's still He's like, "Yo, we just sold a project to Netflix." He just did the same thing again, but as a different character. He didn't write any jokes for. He maybe had like 30 seconds of material, and then he's like, "Hey, we got big things in the works. Oh, I'm a celebrity."
Watching this
I go back on stage, do another 3 minutes. He's not ready again. I do another 10 minutes. Then I bring him back on stage for a third time. I'm like, okay, this must be the big one. I go to the bathroom, I come back into the showroom, and the crowd is dead silent. He's like, he has this look of terror in his eyes. He's just like panicking and like scanning the crowd. He's like, "Where is he? Host, get back on stage." I didn't remember the names Mumbles and Gerard Douche, and he didn't bother to remember my one Christian name. The show was about 45 minutes long, and he was paid $8,000. I did 37 of those minutes for him, and I think I got paid like $50. And I was still young at the time. I didn't think I was deserved. But it's taking away potential stage time from people further along in their careers. They're trying to get better at this. They're trying to get to the point where they can sell out their own craft.
Someone is shooting at
Somebody
us.
that's a local host and features in our scene will be able to learn by working with people, building connections. Robert De Niro's first big break was playing a younger version of Marlon Brando in The Godfather 2. An elder statesman of Hollywood passed the torch for the next generation star to be born. When it came time for him to play the old mob boss at the end of his career in The Irishman, instead of casting a new face to carry on the mantle of the American crime movie, they used CGI to de-age a 78-year-old Robert De Niro to to look 62 and play a 30-year-old version of himself. His wrinkles were smoothed over, but his arthritic skeleton was on the surface of CGI and special effects. He moved with the grace of Joe Biden climbing the stairs to Air Force One. They cast somebody who couldn't convincingly hold a jar of pickles, throwing subs through windows and stomping out rival gang members before hopping away like your Special Forces operators, reporting to his 89-year-old commanding officer.
Goodbye.
He's like, well, I don't know if we can get up that mountain by sunrise.
We're so preoccupied with name recognition, we haven't been able to gracefully transition to the next class. We have generations of universities still hanging out in high school, making teenage girls uncomfortable and offering them their roots. The spot for actors in general became much more limited following the boom of reality television after the 2007 writers' strike. The studios had an adversarial relationship with creatives and told them, we can do this for the most part without you.
Reborn from the chaos. Be right back.
Armed and dangerous! Again!
You get away with it! You get away with it! You get away!
Sure, you're a Shakespearean-trained actor, but will anybody want to see you play if Snippy is getting punched in the face outside? The scripted projects that were greenlit were mostly star vehicles and existing IPs, and the audiences didn't seem to mind. Audiences are still paying to see Frankie Valli wheeled out like he's in Weekend at Bernie's, blinking "Help Me" in Morse code, instead of trying to support new bands at local shows. It's a short-sighted model that's beginning to implode on itself. If we don't start investing in talent while they're young, once the older generation passes away, they won't have the experience needed to develop into what the icons of the past used to be. The director of The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola, tried to tackle the issue of studios not taking chances and stifling artists' creative vision by starting film. In 1969, he founded Zoetrope Studios, a studio by artists, for artists.
Big Hollywood movie, Hollywood, interesting. Coppola shares.
Now, a disappearing.
Going back to great enthusiasm, I told young George Lucas about this vision of having a place out in the
There's
country.
still a chance to stop them.
Goodbye.
See a clear path with in-house school and internships, profit sharing for employees, and mentorship programs where the old guard veterans take people under their wings and develop their talent for their
My
future
work
careers.
is not done.
Again!
Parlay the success of the film and roll over any money they made into developing their next project. In 1982, investors lost faith and started to pull their funding. Coppola took out millions in personal loans and put up his house for collateral to make the film one from the heart. The film generated $600,000 against a $26 million budget. The studio went belly up and Coppola had to file for bankruptcy. He was forced to go back to the studio system, directing safe films to recoup his losses. After several successful business ventures and recouping his fortune, he was set on making his 40-year passion project, Megalopolis. Spoiler alert, massive piece of dog shit.
When you get 1 year of medical school,
Bring on the chaos!
Entitles me? Plasma? Entitles me?
It's now or never.
so go back to the
The movie was based on Elon Musk's favorite book, Bad Sign, 12 Against the Gods. It's set in an alternate version of New York City, mixed with the Roman Empire, and tells the story of Caesar, a billionaire creative genius that discovers a new molecule that kind of looks like an object and vaguely mystical. His vision is to rebuild the entire city out of this material, and the mayor Cicero says, I don't know, it kind of seems like a waste of money, you know, we have thousands of people starving in the streets, we could use that money for healthcare. This is the villain of the film. The entire thing is just such a Hollywood elite. At one point, the main character was arrested for...
Unlawful intercourse with a minor
statutory rape and more coming.
What are you talking about?
And then he has a team of Charlie's Angel-style supermodels break into the records department and prove that she was lying and was actually a 23-year-old, thus exonerating him of sex crimes. Caesar goes into debt near and destroys the city, and he gets to rebuild with his fancy Art Deco models. None of the material conditions of the starving masses are addressed, but he gets to rebuild the city with copper moving sidewalks like an airport terminal. This is the happy ending. Megalopolis lost $110 million of the director's own money, and there's something kind of unique about that.
I am thrilled to accept the Razzie in so many important categories for for the distinctive honor of being nominated as the worst director, worst screenplay, and worst picture. At a time when so few have the courage to go against the prevailing trends of contemporary movie making. In this wretched world today,
I won't
where
make the
odds
same
are given
mistakes
scores
again.
as if it were professional wrestling, I choose not to follow the gutless rules laid down by an industry so terrified of risks that despite the enormous pool of young talent at its disposal, may not be making pictures that will be relevant and alive 50 years from now. What an honor to stand alongside the great courageous to make one of cinema's most beloved failures.
Well, you
Play.
can't expect to win them
A
all.
sincere thanks to all my brilliant colleagues who join me to make our work of art Megalopolis. And let us remind ourselves that box office is only one, and like war, stupidity, and politics, has no true place in our future.
He made exactly what he wanted to make and paid no mind to studio executives or what he thought would be profitable. He says, screw my kid's inheritance. Sophia's got that lost in translation money. She'll figure it out. He blew his life savings so we could see Aubrey Plaza's titties one last time before he died. He did that for us. Reusing the same roster of creatives can save money for a project's advertisement budget. It's much more difficult for people to go see a stage play set in the 1800s about a group of strangers waiting out a blizzard than it is for them to go see the newest Tarantino movie. You don't have to build up hype from the ground floor. You already have the goodwill from the success of the last project. But sometimes that goodwill can run dry and people become a brand risk. Ezra Miller was cast as the Flash and set to be the new face of the DC cinematic universe, and then proceeded to terrorize the population of Hawaii for the next 2 years. They were charged with allegedly choking a woman, assaulting 2 people at a karaoke bar, kicking in a couple's door and threatening to kill them, stealing somebody's passport, hitting a woman over the head with a chair, burglarizing a home, and has been accused on 2 separate instances of grooming 12-year-olds to join their sex cult.
To find the magic in
They
this
became an
world.
Avengers-level
But it does
threat
help.
that ascended to the level of cryptid. Chupacabra, Wendigo, Ezra. Parents in Oahu warned their children not to stay out after dark, otherwise the Flash would get them. Similarly, Marvel abandoned the storyline of Kang after the actor Jonathan Majors pulled a Homer Simpson on his wife, allegedly. Human beings are a liability. We used to go see the newest Scorsese or Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Nowadays, the star isn't necessarily the creator or the leading man of the film, but the character.
I've watched
themselves.
entire
Fictional
realities
characters are
consumed by
incredible.
chaos.
Batman
I won't
can
let
never
that
meet
happen
somebody.
again.
Robin, if you want to go on
30
the next
seconds
mission,
before you attack.
first you have
Get
to do
ready.
something for me.
Like what, Batman?
I've just been really stressed out lately and need something to decompress.
Well, golly, how can I help?
Do you remember rule number 1 of being a hero?
Never reveal your secret identity.
Every time I put on the
More
mask,
broadly.
we have a
The
responsibility.
importance of keeping a
Someone
secret.
has to stand up to all the bullies
Precisely.
out there.
The battle starts in 5,
Grab the bat loop.
4, 3.
After Iranian
2,
General Soleimani was killed in a U.S. airstrike in 2019, the prominent cleric was asked, who can we take out as revenge against America for what they've done to us? He responded,
Think about it. Who are we supposed to take out? Spider-Man and SpongeBob? They don't have any heroes. We have a country that's but it doesn't have any heroes. All of the heroes
Conch, you cannot say good this time,
people are reaching a fatigue with existing IPs. Interests are waning in superheroes and Fast and Furious movies. The cow is milked dry. The udders are chafing. We have to keep trying for new ideas and characters that will define the cultural zeitgeist for our next generation. The places I'm still seeing produce interesting art are getting away with it by diversifying their artistic investment portfolio. Instead of dropping $300 million on what if you spent $15 million making 20 original movies and just going all out?
Some of them will suck, some of them will be great, but we have to try. It's a gamble, but when you're in the business of distributing art to society, it's worth the risk. If all you care about is money, get into arbitrage and health insurance.
Who's next? You're halfway there. Keep going.
Hey, thanks.
Mainstream entertainment systems can get away with not taking risks by reusing their tried and true roster of proven hits, rebooting a franchise or making another sequel, or taking whatever's currently popular on the internet and consider that passing the first round of focus group testing. That's how we end up with the Rizzler on Jimmy Fallon. NBC said if this is what America wants, we'll give it to them. Bring him out on prime time for the masses. Jimmy Fallon is a transitionary figure in the media landscape who grew up in a different age of entertainment. He grew up watching Bob Hope and Johnny Carson, who's trying to carry on the format of their shows for a new audience and culture. The nature of fame and what a celebrity is has changed since the 70s.
Checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
With victory!
Where they previously interviewed child prodigies like Michael Jackson, now they're interviewing a child...
Or a dagger.
Something. Prodigy's not the right word. Comedian's not the right word. Brand? He's not sure what to do with him. Is he to be treated like an artist and we dive into his creative process? What is there to say?
What's the story behind the
So basically, one day I came home from school and I was like, Dad, I want to make a video. And I was like, this is how to do the video.
I am ready to put on a show.
Late night has always been a secondary form of entertainment. Whether it be musicians or filmmakers, they would go on to promote their upcoming projects to a new audience, give a behind-the-scenes look to existing fans, or offer creative insights and inspiration to people wanting to follow in their footsteps. As a talk show host, Fallon has spent 20 years humanizing the titans of the industry and showing that despite their creative influence, they're still just like us. What do we do when we already know that they're just like us? Neither the host nor the exact talent, just that he has a gravitational pull of power. You can see the fear of the unknown in Jimmy's eyes as he offers him treats to get in his good graces. The segment was more akin to when a wildlife expert would showcase exotic and deadly animals to the host. The Rizzler, lying in wait like a black mamba, ready to strike and exploded like an television. Entertainment to the point of superficiality. The meaning or interpretations of art. The only meaning to the Costco guide is that there is no meaning. Can you imagine 100 years from now in anthropology class going, okay, so today we'll be dissecting Keemstar A-Log.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
None of those words are in the Bible. It's just a madness of genetic training. Like 20 years ago, Kurt Vonnegut was on The Daily Show speaking out against the Iraq War and promoting his new book. Now the Rizzler is mewing on Fallon, reviewing slop from the Costco food court. We work with what we have, and if these are undercover intellectuals, I expect them to rise to the occasion.
Sorry to ruin your fun.
I am formally calling on the Rizzler to weigh in on the ICJ arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu. Is there any validity to international law, or is it just to impose Western hegemony on third world nations? Where does Vladimir Putin's use of intercontinental ballistic missiles rate on the boom meter? If these children don't know where they stand on the regime change with something within I can feel myself getting dumber. If I watch the entire movie without looking at my phone, I feel like a chess prodigy. It doesn't even have to be something deep. I can have my phone charging in the other room while I watch Fast and Furious. I walk around the rest of the day like I just read Ethan's Wake. Yes, Dom's love for Corona is symbolic to his allegiance to his family. Family is bound by the find their own beach. Conversely, NOS represents, is the trend going to continue? Are people going to be impressed if they watch my brother, I do not have the attention span for a whole 60 seconds. The moon hates you! I just found it's the most streamlined delivery system of dopamine on second and third jobs. The people that don't have the opium zappers will be pretentious, like the kids in school didn't have TV growing up. I don't want to spend the night at Joey's house. Their family are freaks. They didn't let them get the Neuralink prostate pack. Their dad's religious and doesn't believe in fun, I guess. They just hit vapes and watch Minecraft streamers all day. They're like Amish or something. They're fucking weirdos. As the medium of media changes, it also changes us. A 2021 Harvard study reported a surge in Tourette's-like symptoms of adolescents using TikTok. The repetitive trending audios became default responses.
Very demure. Very straightforward.
Having a conversation with an 11-year-old feels like playing Cards Against Humanity. They just have this deck of
shoddy, blood, like, that's good. Fire. It's Riz right there. That light skin mad lit on God, no cap.
People are also self-censoring in real life to abide by social media platforms' terms of service. To get around content moderation when talking about subjects like rape or suicide, creators will use terms like unalive or SA instead. These topics aren't advertiser-friendly, so they have to be talked about in a roundabout, sanitized fashion. The reverberations of that are people in the real world feeling like they have to sanitize their speech, like there's an omnipresent content moderator always standing behind them. Refraining from profanity or talking about sex used to be from fear of eternal damnation. Now the fear is demonetization. These are heavy topics that aren't supposed to be light and advertiser-friendly. You shouldn't have to say, no diddy, but I was like raped as a child. You need therapy.
It's a realm
In Neil Postman's book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, he reflects on how the medium of communication
The battle starts in 5, 4,
For although culture
3,
is a creation of speech,
2,
it is recreated anew by every medium
All
of
you need to do is
communication.
capture the mission
From
area.
painting
Got
to
it?
hieroglyphs to the alphabet to television. Each medium, like language itself, makes possible a unique mode of discourse by providing a new orientation for thought, for expression, for sensibility. While I do not know exactly what content was once carried in the smoke signals of American Indians, I can safely guess that it did not include philosophical argument. Puffs of smoke are insufficiently complex to express ideas on the nature of existence. And even if they were not, a Cherokee philosopher would run short of either wood or blankets long before he reached his second axiom. You cannot use smoke to do philosophy. Its form excludes the content.
Twitter in some respects has ruined our relationships with other human beings and has infected media and politics. The format of Twitter rewards such styles of communication, either consciously or unconsciously, has changed the way that we speak to each other. Features such as the 140-character limit strips words of their context and forces people to oversimplify complex subjects. This lends itself to sensational and divisive statements that embolden the people that agree with you and alienate those in the outgroup. The block button would eliminate naysayers from your feed and curate communities of echo chambers. The quote tweet feature, or the look at this dumbass button, would be the driving force of cancel culture. You could take people's sensational, out-of-context tweets to poach their audience for max visibility and signal to your own tribe that you're not this dumbass, two-dimensional character that you're sacrificing upon the altar. This communication style spilled over the containment walls of Twitter and affected how we talk to each other in all facets of our life. Movies and television had characters not speaking to each other, but creating caricatures of the archetypes they see online and dunking on them, quips spoken to the audience behind the fourth wall. Hollywood started to lose touch with the consensus of the American people and existed in bubbles of wealthy socialites. People started to tap out, finding no commonalities with people that used to bring them joy through their work. They sought out alternative forms of entertainment. There was a huge boom in online independent content creators.
The political horseshoe theory states that as you move further into the extremes of an ideology, the two wings start to take on more similarities than differences. On one side, we have Mao Zedong. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, I do it. And on the other side, we have Adolf Hitler. The most radical of each party both take on ultranationalism and authoritarian mechanisms of control and come to the ultimate conclusion that...
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Take the topic of abortion, for example. In the center, you have no strong feelings one way or the other. You just don't want to make people upset at dinner parties. If you go down a little bit in the right wing, abortion is a tragedy, but there still needs to be access for certain circumstances, such as rape or incest. If you go down even further,
There's no exceptions whatsoever. Every abortion is a murder, and there should be no access. But if you go far enough right, they actually end up becoming pro-choice again, depending on the race of the baby. Similar to the political horseshoe, content exists on a horseshoe of attention. Let's replace the variables to illustrate this
30
phenomenon.
seconds before you attack.
We'll
Get
replace
ready.
the desire for change axis with views.
So you're
And we're
telling
going to
me there's a
swap
whole
out the
multiverse full of
left-right
spider
political
folk?
axis with cringe to awe-inspired.
You gotta be kidding me. I can barely tolerate
The center, just like in politics, is boring. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just fine. They're mediocre. There's no one you want to send it to.
The battle
It's just
starts in
something that you'll
5,
see and scroll
4,
past.
3,
Then we have
2,
the awe-inspired.
1.
The content that
All
reminds
you
you
need
what
to
it
do is
means to be
capture the
human.
mission area. Got it?
So this is the end of all things, then. Not on my watch, darling.
You get a weapon, you get a weapon, you get a weapon!
Watch your back. Let me do this. I outnumber you.
This is real firepower!
Reborn? Be right there. You are under my spell.
You're exposed to levels of talents and dedication that show you driving to They give you hope for the future.
Rise, my friend!
Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the embodiment of strength.
They told 19 to spray dolphins, so I can make me tougher.
The lolcows, the schizophrenics, the rage bait, the dumbest guy from your high school's Gary Vee-inspired hustle for podcast, portals into unimaginable hell, despair, stranger addiction. The awesome and the cringe are more similar to There's a magnetism to them. You can't look away, either because it's like a car accident or it's so beautiful it transcends into angelic. You just have to share it with everyone you know. It's either art or some form of performance art of mere existence. Artists are beginning to get phased out by content creators. An artist is somebody that makes art, and that word carries certain connotations with it. Art makes you feel something, it has resonance. It starts dialogues, and through people's different interpretations, it can reveal things about yourself and your future. Comedy carries the expectation that it'll make somebody laugh when they see it. If it doesn't make you laugh, there'll be arguments over whether it's even classified as a comedy.
Is this what passes for comedy nowadays? Must have forgot to laugh.
Is Nanette a comedy?
Think about it. You started back and the last turn.
It just has to make somebody laugh. If you intended for something to be funny and one person laughs, congratulations, you've succeeded at making comedy. You've met the functional definition of the product. If you make a chair, there's the expectation that you'll be able to sit in it. But if you give it to Dave Blunts and he blows the legs out to stop being a chair, no, this wasn't made for him. It would be the perfect stool to keep being Hezbollah. You're just sold to the wrong customer. But if no one on earth can sit on it, like it's a flaming baseball bat with nails in it, you can't really call it a chair. Content creators have no expectations. Nobody can say something technically isn't content. In the same way that Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, it was posted, therefore it's content. You could just as easily call it shit. Hey, did you see that latest shit Chrissy Teigen posted? Nah, I'm up to my neck in Johnny Salami shit right now. I don't even know if I'll get to it. Art is entertaining, so people end up treating it like it's interchangeable with entertaining shit.
Netflix pays $100 million to Aaron Sorkin or whoever to make a TV show. Right. That distracts you for 2 hours.
Right.
YouTube pays $0 million to make a podcast that distracts you for 2 hours every day. Netflix cannot compete.
Media's talked about like it's a pacification ray, just meant to tranquilize you long enough to make it to the next ad break. Just blasting you with a fire hose of concentrated fluoride meant to sedate you. And this is actually what some people claim they want. The common complaint people have on why they cast out movies and television is that everything's too woke nowadays. I don't want to be preached at by a bunch of out-of-touch millionaires and their politics. We need to go back to simpler movies to escape all that crap, like Star Wars, where a group of rebels engage in asymmetrical guerrilla warfare against a technologically superior evil empire. It doesn't have any parallels to anything like America in the 1960s. What the fuck you talking about? I don't even know how you came to that conclusion. What the fuck do you mean the Ewoks are Vietnamese? No, they're little bears. To get into the woke phenomenon, we need to talk about the most persecuted minority in American history, the gamer. Now, I don't want to come across as tone deaf. I can say the G word. Hard R. I've reached levels of unemployment not heard of since the stock market crash of '29. While you were out partying, I studied the blade. While you were engaging in premarital sex, I practiced the blade. While you wasted your days in the gym in pursuit of vanity, I mastered the blade. Our people were brought into the sphere of public discourse in 2014 with Gamergate. Gamergate was a sprawling clash between Sargon Akkad, Anita Sarkeesian, and Baron Borkinen. Wait, not the last guy. Everyone sounds like a villain from Doom for some reason. The gist of Gamergate was a female journalist critiqued the video game industry for objectifying women and only having them as one-dimensional characters with big jiggly titties meant to serve the male gaze. Responses to this ranged from that's gay to that's super gay. For the chronically online that were on the pulse of the controversy, some people agreed with her critique of the industry, some people disagreed, and a few people messaged her, "If you try to take away my big jiggly titties, I swear to God I will burn your house to the ground." The dialogue then shifted from the video games being misogynistic to the gamers themselves. A concerted effort was made by the gaming journalist community to write a slew of articles about how the gamer was dead. We were a proud and noble people. We lived in harmony. The news, the camera, the kid that produced all the rap followed these party chats. Until one day, the light gamer passed. This was a jumping off point for YouTube's right-wing radicalization pipeline. Creators such as Sargon Akkad, Gavin McGinnis, Milo Snuffleupagus, gained notoriety. The young man felt under attack by the community. These YouTube personalities became a bulwark against criticism and engaged in their own asymmetric warfare against the corporate media entities. The lines in the sand had been drawn for the culture war that was going to take place over the
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Rise,
We start with Mario, the wholesome, all-Italian, we reflect on the great Luigi, the same thing, but slightly less. On the left is Mario, set with a fairy.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
The beings that only exist in reference to others.
A disappearing.
Us
against the world!
He is no reason
I once decimated an entire species with an art of magic. I understand their hesitation to get attention.
He's nothing.
At your service.
Chaos control!
In a world where our
Disappear!
what relationships to brands and powers,
That's better. Leave the magic to the grown-ups, Julia. Goodbye.
To apply the postmodern analysis of Waluigi to our American entertainment system, we can start with the 1984 movie Ghostbusters. Set in a Reagan era, it was an embodiment of culture. The ragtag boys club, blue-collar men kicking ass and saving the day, going up against the nerds and ridiculous environmental protection agencies. We'll use them as our Mario. Traditional masculinity, saving the damsel in distress,
Don't let
swinging dick
anything
jokes.
stand in your way.
Then came the 2016 reboot, Lady Ghostbusters. Wait, it's called Ghostbusters? I've literally only ever heard it referred to as Lady Ghostbusters. It's too late to change now. Lady Ghostbusters is utterly essentially the same skeleton as the original, but with a role reversal. In the Obama years, this was a reflection of our culture. Didn't seem to have a problem with bosses sexually harassing sex parents, but opposed to why can't a girl boss sexually harass her male sex parents? Chris Hemsworth played the emo punk with the room temperature IQ of the Lady Ghostbusters soundtrack.
Second chance is over.
The movie was released in the summer of 2016, when all of Hollywood thought Hillary Clinton would be a lock for the presidency. The film suffered a similar humiliation to Clinton, being negatively panned by audiences in its box office. The response by the creators was to blame the audience for total sexism. They called the fan base racist, sexist, all the isms you can think of. I saw someone say the movie
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Which is a new word for hating black women, I guess. They really need to workshop that one. It sounds kind of sexy right now. It's like a cologne that Johnny Depp would sell.
Feel the thunder.
Listen to me, dumb bitch.
Reborn from the chaos.
The backlash then fueled the creation of the monstrosity Waluigi, the inverse to Lady Ghostbusters. Lady Ballers. The reactionary swinging of the pendulum. Whereas the toxic masculinity of the 80s was subconscious, and not altogether harmless, wasn't deliberately malicious. The new wave was gone septic. Their thesis statement is nothing besides we are not Lady Ghostbusters.
Feeling stronger already. Spider infestation. How unpleasant. Goodbye.
Only when anti-establishment. The Daily Wire, right-wing media companies, said they're going to be bringing up.
This was an
It's like nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like
Another epic victory!
Return to the heyday of the feel-good, apolitical, sophomore comedies of Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler.
What? We just become best friends? Yup. Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup.
The movie Lady Ballers, directed by Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
I swear to God, that's his real name. Was marketed as a comedy that harkens back to the 90s and early 2000s. These people have no idea how to
find the
accomplish that
magic
task.
in this world.
It's as if the
But
art
it
of
does
making a
help.
lighthearted comedy was a lost technology, like how the Egyptians built the pyramids. They are so off the mark of making something like Step Brothers or The Hangover, they must be sitting in the editing bay, coming up with conspiracies on how Adam McKay was helped by extraterrestrials. The movie is just as pedagogic or preachy as any of the woke movies that they spent their careers rallying against.
Of course, your divorce is affecting your daughter. 70% of all people in prison come from broken families. She's twice as likely to do drugs, twice as likely to drop out of school, 4 times as likely to have trouble fitting in, 3 times as likely to end up in
Magneto
therapy,
raised me
twice as
to
likely
never
commit
stop
suicide.
fighting for what
It's
I believe is
condescending,
right.
We'll be coming in 30
spiteful,
seconds.
putting political
Stay strong.
messaging over any sort of story or character development.
These transhumanist tech
You have a
oligarchs
problem
and
with me, I
nihilist
should
college
know
professors have
about
already convinced every self-righteous housewife with Munchausen by proxy to sacrifice their kids on the altar of false virtue.
Whatever your
Not do a
Wanda
funny
Maximoff
impression of
did.
somebody that you
That
hate
blood is
with
not
all of
on
your
my
being.
head.
Shifted that entire story to what?
To make a name for myself? To get
Battle
like
starts in
to gain
5,
power?
4,
What part of being
3,
a journalist do you
2,
not understand?
1.
I'll cancel you.
You have to stop
Characters
them
in
from
Lady
securing
Ballers
the mission
despise
area.
each other to the level of your parents arguing with each other at the Cheesecake Factory the night before their divorce. You never listen to me. Oh, is that what I sound like? Oh, well, who am I?
Dude, I lost our kid's college money sending Amazon gift cards to Indian man
How
texting my
unpleasant.
girlfriend. Dude, I'm retarded.
Yeah, I mean, those are frightening, but I don't think that the child sitting on the other side of the table is going to find it very funny. Here's what the funniest comedian of all time said about making jokes about groups of people. You need to tell a black joke like you're talking to your black friends. You gotta tell jokes about women like you're talking to your sisters. You gotta tell jokes about white people like you're talking to your white friends. This movie wasn't made to be enjoyed by women, Democrats, or gay people. It was made as a spike project to pander to them. And my problem with it isn't that it's conservative. It's because it sucks ass. There's plenty of great movies that are made by conservatives and are conservative in nature.
Just what I needed.
Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, the first Incredibles, arguably, or any of the Vince Vaughn movies from the early 2000s. The difference was they used to have a humanity to them. Vince Vaughn would be the sarcastic, everyman protagonist, trading blows with the beta male liberal. But at the end, there was some sort of commonality where they're like, alright, you're an annoying pussy, but I'm kind of a stupid asshole. Can we just get along and get through this wedding? The modern anti-war content gives no quarter. There's no olive branches. There's no attempt at understanding. It is just a power fantasy where the main character is understanding, is always right, destroying their political opponents, knocking them straw man with platforms fueled by the pure poison fire. You might be inclined to write off the Daily Wire as propaganda. That's not the correct term.
I won't make a
Propaganda is a form of communication used to influence or persuade an audience to further a political agenda. Their content isn't made to lure a politically neutral audience into their ideology. The origin of these channels are SJW owned, libtard destroyed content where a grown man with a research team and printed out statistics corners teenagers on their way to a compound class and try to make them look like dumbasses. These aren't designed for liberals to come around and do things their way. They're made as a catharsis for people that already hate liberals. And I get it, they're annoying. Propaganda is supposed to separate you from your way of thinking. A grifter's job is to separate the market demographic from their money. Selling anti-woke coffee and razor blades.
You've had enough of the woke bullshit, and you're tired of paying companies like Harry and Gillette to hate you.
Because I see people's alienation and frustration with the system as an opportunity for them to line their own pockets. It's an insult to the audience's intelligence that they make content that doesn't challenge their worldview perspective. It's party time! I'm gonna let you stay right there. Because that's how we know how to start.
Goodbye. I am ready to put on a show!
Everything is shit. Hollywood is shit. Mind and brain rot is shit.
Supernova!
Rifters are shit.
Your powers are mine!
You belong to me! It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
I am ready to put on a show! Now, I disappear.
Dragon Unleashed!
Tremble before Bast!
Help me heal?
Of course not. There's still great art being made every day. It's going to be harder to find now. The algorithms are designed for content that rises to the top. It's often mindless clickbait, engagement farming, people exploding their anger and disenfranchisement. Great art is still being created, probably now more than ever, but you're going to have to pay for it like gold. If you find anything worth your time, hang on to it for your life. Share it with your friends. Go support local bands and become a small-time patron of the arts. In a world where attention is a commodity, the only democratic control we have is not to look. You have to be like Lot's wife fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah, and if she dared look back, she'd be turned into a pillar of salt. If you're pulling your hair out and asking, why is this popular? Are people stupid? Yeah, duh. And you're even dumber than them, because you're not even enjoying the time. It's like eating a whole plate of Twinkies and going, I hate Twinkies. Disgusting slop made to demoralize us. The West is dead. Yeah, man, no one told you to eat the Twinkies. They were just on the shelf. You have the choice. Give everything a chance, but once you know you don't like it, just disengage. If somebody says, hey, did you see that Ian Miles John tweet? Sorry, brother. Only tweets I hear are the birds on my back porch. Become fully drill pill. I'm almost 30 years old. I shouldn't have an opinion on this at least. Does the Fresh and Fit podcast suck? Or am I just not a Cuban man in the Miami dating scene? Does the Daily Wire suck? Or am I just not the most divorced man in my local cigar lounge? I like 90s anime and ska. It's not like if I sat down with those guys, I would convince them that Neon Genesis is the pinnacle of art. The Fresh and Fit fan would be like, hey B, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This shit mad gay and retarded.
This Shinji's he's just like a little bitch, you know, freaky ass jerking his little dick in Asuka's hospital room. That shit nasty, real. Daily Wire fan, it's like this Shinji Kari needs to pull himself up by his straps. I mean, his father owns the company, and he's still dropping the ball. It's called responsibility, Al. Get your ass into gear. It's not for them. The same way their show's not for me. I used to be the main target demographic for most of the content that was being produced. Now I'm just a smaller piece of that pie chart, but it's still The Banshees of Inisherin came out a few years ago without any fanfare, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Black Country New Road in the era where everyone was singing
I am ready to put on a show!
I'm finding new artists and musicians that inspire me every other week. And if you don't see anybody making things for people like you, make it yourself.
Born a supernova!
You're not going anywhere.
Tremble before fast!
I am my power knows no limit. Behind you like that should make me happy.
I want to make a... Be right back. Stronger already. This should help me heal.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
That did the trick.
Your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
Goodbye.
Chaos control.
Better stop that vehicle.
Rusty. Let me help. Be right back.
Enemy ahead. Rise, my friends!
Feeling stronger already.
Second chance is over. Rest now, my child. Your spider days are over.
It's now or never. Stop them.
Someone has a
Chaos control. That sniper is not going to bother us again. Now, a disappearing. It seems we have a sniper in our midst.
He stopped them in their tracks.
I feel like myself again.
I won't make the same mistakes again.
Goodbye. Time. How? You're frozen.
Their sniper is not as clever as they thought.
Cheer up, little one.
Despite you were under my spell.
A nice deep freeze.
We're being targeted.
You're not going anywhere.
60 seconds left.
I feel like myself again.
Born again!
From a distance,
My work here is not done.
Together to victory!
I am ready to put on a show.
For mutant kind! I took out the spiders at their nest.
It's the grand finale. Down to 30 seconds.
Feeling stronger already. We need to hold on.
Your powers are mine!
I am ready to put on a show.
Brings the chaos.
A nice deep freeze. The final 10 seconds. It's spider time!
We got a sniper. Your spider never stand a chance.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Be your best self.
You're not going anywhere. Rest easy.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world. But it does help. Chaos surrounds us, but I will gladly show it who is in control.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. Oh, hey, Spider-Man. Heard you're helping with the TRD?
A little, I guess. I can't quite get a grip on the map.
Yeah, I couldn't either. But I can't fight bad guys until the TRD's done and everything goes back to the way it was. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
That spider could have bitten anyone, but it bit me. It's amazing luck.
Our foes have found us. Now, a disappearing act.
That one hurt.
I am much better now.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Like adorable little elder gold. You are under my spell.
Get in there.
Namor's plan. A curse freeze. Be right there. You are under my spell.
Namor has a loyal army of his own, it seems.
Nice. They captured the mission area.
I won't make the same goodbye for now.
A nice deep freeze.
My work here is not done. Now, a disappearing act.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
The only obstacle. My friends are here! Sorry, no escaping us now. Our team's capture progress is constant.
This is real firepower!
Destructive power.
Goodbye.
I like the cold. Double KO!
This was inevitable.
Strong together, not going anywhere. Please, Namor. They've almost got it!
His fate isn't sealed yet. Goodbye for now.
Bring a weapon, you get a weapon, you get a web!
I found one of our. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Woo! Never miss! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Namor keeps strange company.
The multiverse offers endless possibilities, but only if it survives this chaos.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
My daughter's convinced me to invite you to the gala. I just expected a better outfit.
Look who's talking, Frost. Apparently money can't buy a fashion sense.
And your grating music belongs in the bargain bin.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Queen, mother, perfection. I answer to all three.
And so it begins. You are under my spell. Feeling stronger already.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
I still want you. Who is behind you, my ally?
Namor's plan was cursed from the start. I'm hurt.
The mission area is yours.
Under my spell.
I like the cold.
Another unsuspecting foe.
What unusual We got company.
This is real firepower! Born again!
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Fate isn't sealed yet.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Bring on the chaos.
It's the grand finale. That one hurt. Center stage. I am much better now. Please, we're hurt. I like the cold.
Don't mess with the amazing...
You're not going anywhere.
Goodbye.
Behind you. I'm hurt. Fury's almost yours.
Your mind is mine.
My fate. Goodbye. For now.
Here's how you shoot! This is real firepower! I'm hulking out!
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. I like the cold.
Now, a disappearing. The multiverse offers endless possibilities, but only if it survives this chaos.
Exquisite!
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. When I see someone with powers like yours, I think, wow. I mean, how can I compare?
Don't compare. You just spread your light.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
After all this time, it's nice to finally have some help saving the universe.
Our folks found us one of our critics.
Goodbye. Chaos from the dead.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
My work here is not now a disappearing act.
We need to get after it if we're gonna complete the mission.
They captured the mission area!
Namor's creatures are no longer a threat. Now, a disappearing act.
Not
stronger already.
Disappear! Under my spell. Hits the ground. I'm hurt.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind. Armed and dangerous! Again!
Disappearing.
Love those light daggers. Dark Horse close too.
Feeling stronger already. Goodbye for now.
Chaos control.
Halt the adversary!
I suck.
Looks like we're about to get inked!
Something doesn't feel right here.
Reborn, goodbye for now.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Don't let them claim victory.
Control lost. Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
That's better. Goodbye for now.
Enemy tagged. Follow them. Mutant squids? Can we switch places, guys?
Chaos control.
Go back to where the sea cave crawled out of.
Enemy.
Goodbye for now.
Armed and dangerous!
That one hurts.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me.
Disappear! Fighting until we have a winner.
Your friends can help you now. Embrace the chaos.
Again! Born again!
The time entanglement is a vexing problem, even for the Sorcerer Supreme.
The area's almost yours.
Pentagram of Parala. Good medicine. Leave me, darkness.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world. But it does help. The multiverse offers endless possibilities, but only if it survives this chaos.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. Doctor Strange, wow.
We're in this together, Tandy Bowen. Get the stars out of your eyes and let us fight.
Wow, all business.
The fate of many worlds is at stake. It is a mighty quest.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
An orbiting city around a vibranium star. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Our foes draw near.
You are under my spell! Feeling stronger already. This should help me heal. Goodbye for now.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
Drown in the abyss.
My time to shine.
My work here. Be right back. You are under my spell. Goodbye.
You have my full support.
Chaos control. Ah, there they are.
Don't let them
Now, a disappearing act.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Co-op time!
Show's over. Be right there.
I unleash the
Double
Vishanti's
KO!
power!
Judge, jury, executioner! Born again!
Ah, that's better.
Fury is almost yours!
My exploding plasma!
I have tagged your foe.
You're not going anywhere.
I am ready to put on a show! You'll have to keep fighting until you have a winner!
Of the goddess!
Goodbye. Nos vemos. Magneto raised me to never stop fighting for what I believe is right.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Your idealism refreshes a battered old soul.
You can't be that old.
Astral projection makes me feel old.
battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I too am a son of Odin. You're gone.
Chaos control! Being stronger. You are under my Magneto! It's yours to capture now. Co-op time! The mission area is yours.
You should all
Goodbye. I have tagged a foe. Hunt them.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger. Chaos control!
I unleash the Vishanti.
Maximum pulse!
Mind the exploding plasma! The end has come, but just for you.
My thanks.
Double KO!
Ah, that's better.
Or a dagger. Ancient secrets revealed! That's 3! Always prevails.
You right there.
Wow, 4 in a row! You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
You have my thanks.
Under my spell.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
I am ready to put on a show!
Ah, that's better.
Here is all yours! Please, what hurt?
Now, a disappearing. Help me heal.
You're not going anywhere! Control lost! Co-op time!
My work here is... Be right back.
Born again!
I'm a sitting duck.
Stronger together.
Now, a disappearing.
I unleash the Vishanti.
Maximum pulse!
cheap tricks, wizard.
Mind the exploding plasma.
Never had a chance.
Control seized!
Capture complete.